Hey, what's up guys, and I hope you're all having a wonderful day. If you're not, let me try to make it a little bit better with this new what if. What if Naruto had cosmic energy? Part 1. Yes guys, what if Naruto had cosmic energy? And as you guys know, all what if on this channel is done by Anime King, so there is no link down the description. I hope you guys really enjoy this, and also, over on Anime King 2 I posted a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was an Emotionless Ghost. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy guys. And also stay in tune for a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was a Direct Descendant of the Sage over on Anime King for you guys to enjoy. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say begin this new what if? Start the intro. So for a little bit of explaining before this what if begin, and I'm gonna be listing off some of the powers that are granted by cosmic energy. Powers like godlike strength, godlike stamina, godlike speed, energy distortion, energy absorption, levitation, size, alteration, adapted appearance, matter, transmutation, teleportation, force field, interdimensional, portals, telepathy, telekinesis, cosmic awareness, creation, soul control, manipulation, regeneration, and many more guys. So just stay in tune, those are a few of the abilities that cosmic energy grant the user. But Naruto will not have them right off the bat after all. If he had those abilities, there will literally be no enemy in the Naruto universe. Well, he will get there, but not just yet. He will have to learn how to control his abilities, and he will have a teacher along the way that is as confused as him and is trying to help him as much as he can. So yeah guys, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let's begin part 1. With tremendous speed, someone launched themselves from a tree branch. As the person flipped through hand sign mid-air, summoning jutsu, he cried out, his long white hair flapping behind him as he slammed his hand on thin air. The steel narray spread out in thin air as there was a massive poof. In seconds, the smoke cleared away to show a large toad standing there with 2 swords strapped on his back. Gamahiro! Jiraiya, as he was the one that summoned this toad. As he landed on toad back, Konoha, now he said. As Gamahiro got the clue, as Gamabunta was summoned earlier for its assistance in helping, the Great Toad Sage had told him that Konoha was currently facing a plague, and that plague was none other than a nine-tailed fox that was ravishing everything. The toad launched himself a giant leap to make its way towards Konoha. Jiraiya just prayed and hoped that he wasn't too late. He was not there, he was in the Fire Nation when all of this chaos went off and everything started to happen. So the toad leaped its way forward. Meanwhile, the massive beast roared, a roar that shook the entire place. It was currently chained up. There was a celestial form behind Minato. Most might see this and think that it was death itself, because it was. It was none other than the Shinigami, a being that transcends many things. After all, one who had a hold over life and death itself was not normal by any means. The Shinigami hand reached through Minato as Minato winced. Bursting through him, another hand came through his stomach and rushed towards the fox. The nine-tailed beast was known to be a beast of pure chaos, malice, and destruction. Right now it was in rage. It was sealed away for so long in that red-headed woman, only to be sealed away in another red-headed woman. And then finally, as it got its freedom, it was now going to be sealed away in a child? Never! It screamed in its mind. The fox did his best as he released a mighty dose of power. Knowing what the Shinigami is, the fox knew that if this seal was placed on him, he will never be free. So he releases power on a burst, trying his best to escape. Minato wasn't prepared for the fox to do something like this. Something happened in a split second. The seal was already on baby Naruto's stomach, who was crying as Kushina was clinging on to life. The Shinigami gripped onto the Nine Tails, but at that moment something happened. The power that the Nine Tails released came in contact with the god of death itself, and something happened. There was a rift of the two powers slamming together, with the Shinigami currently in the process of sealing away this great beast. Something happened that confused Minato greatly as he watched. A strange rift just split open. It opened up right in front of his baby boy. Kushina's eyes went wide as she wondered what was going on, but yet still the Shinigami did not falter, as this mere fox could not, well, harm it. But the rush of its power connecting with the Shinigami touch created this rift. Yellow eyes turned as he looked towards the boy. The Shinigami was mostly focusing on the rift that was now in front of the young boy. But it had a job to do, and it had a soul to take as it ripped the Nine Tails in half. Half of the power being sealed within Minato to take to the grave. Seeing that his plan failed, the Nine Tail reached out to kill Naruto, as he had shrunk in size so the chains around him had lessened and they weren't restricting his movements. As his claw went forward, only for two pairs to leap forward. Slash! The mighty claw ripped through Kushina and Minato at once. The both of them slammed their heel into the ground. That strange rift was still there. A strange purple energy was seeping from it. The Shinigami didn't wait away as he narrowed his eyes. He just looked at that rift in front of the boy. Naruto started to cry as he screamed and cried as that strange purple energy was basking his entire body in a strange purple glow. The Shinigami just stood there. Even though his job was done, he didn't leave. He just watched. Being one with death, the Shinigami knew exactly what that was. As he glanced towards the fox that was still there, it seems like the chaotic power of the fox, with this sealing, tore open a space and time rift itself, to open that rift within the universe. But where the power was coming from, that was unknown. As this power here was cosmic energy, power that a human should not have. He was sure that this boy would be dead very soon. Yes, no human alive can wield the power of cosmic. As he slowly faded out of view, that was still a weird endeavor. There was a Maki that summoned the Shinigami before and tried to use the power of the dead god itself, but he always required a sacrifice. But this never happened before. But he never had the privilege of stripping a tail beast before. He glanced towards Minato Namikaze before he left. That man will be in his stomach very soon. The portal simply vanished away. Kushina smiled as she saw her baby boy. As he stopped crying, she was completely, well, confused what just happened. Minato as well. But it was all gone now, and their boy seemed to be okay. The both of them started telling him how much they loved him, as Minato started to perform the final hand signs, as he could feel his life slipping away. Before he went though, Kushina, I love you, he said. I love you too, Minato-kun, she said. As the power of the fox was sealed, the fox roared as he was sealed away within the stomach of the boy that he just tried to kill, and failed. As Kushina fell down, the barrier dropped with Minato now dead. But Kushina wasn't dead. Suddenly, a massive toad came crashing down. Sarutobi and a few envoys rushed out towards the scene. Jiraiya leaped off the toad and landed on his feet. His eyes saw Minato. He could tell. Despite not being there, he could tell. As the both of them had once talked about, what if the seal was to be broken? How would they stop the Nine Tails? What was a better seal to hold back the beast? Jiraiya had cursed him for that idea. After all, that would take his life, and his family would need him. They were going to have a son, which they were going to name Naruto after his book that he wrote. As Jiraiya slowly made his way, Jiraiya said a weak voice. He rushed over as quickly as possible to see Hiruzen holding up Kushina. She smiled at him. "Seems like you're late," she said. He dropped to his knees. "Kushina, I'm so sorry," he said. "I'm sorry." "It's okay. We can't change the past now," she said. "Look, we both know that I don't have long. But we can't... No. I'm dying," she said. "I want you to look after Naruto for me. I would ask the Hokage, but knowing his duties, and after tonight's attack, it is going to be hard for him to look after one child. So can you please look after him for me and take care of him?" Jiraiya knew that he had his spine at work and that he couldn't stay in the village for too long. But seeing her begging him on her dying breath, "Yes, I'll take care of him. I'll make sure that he's okay. I'll look after him," said Jiraiya. Kushina smiled. "Thank you," she said, as she looked down to the boy in her arms. She brought him up close before kissing him on the forehead. "I love you, Naruto-kun," she said, as she handed him over to Jiraiya, as Naruto was still holding on to her. As a tear escaped Jiraiya's eye, Jiraiya took the baby boy. Completely unaware of the situation, the boy giggled and reached towards Jiraiya in a cute, childlike manner. Even just born, he was already smiling. Jiraiya did not notice because he looked up that Naruto's eyes flashed purple, despite his eyes being fully blue. "Oh, if you turn my son into a pervert, I'll make sure to come back and kill you myself." Despite the situation, Jiraiya laughed nervously as Kushina smiled. And with that, her heart gave out, as she just died. A single tear fell down from Jiraiya's eye, landing right on Naruto's head. The boy seemed to be aware as he frowned. Jiraiya did not notice that a single tear suddenly levitated off the boy's head, as it fell over and hit the ground. As Sarutobi lowered his head, as they all went into a moment of silence. Time skip. Both Sarutobi and Jiraiya was in the Hokage's office, along with a small baby boy that was on the table, in a small little basket. "Do you intend to make good on that promise?" said Sarutobi, as he was sitting in his chair. "Of course I do. What about your situation?" "I know that. I know at the moment I can't take him," said Jiraiya. "He's too young. That is why I want you to do something for me. Don't tell anyone about his predicament. Not even the council. We need to keep this to ourselves." Sarutobi narrowed his eyes. "I'll be taking him the moment that he learns how to walk and talk." "Are you sure about this, Jiraiya? I mean, I can... No. I made a promise," Jiraiya said. "I can do it. After a couple of years, once he learns how to walk and talk, no one will know. They will just think I've picked a new apprentice to train. Despite his similarities, most people, although it's bad to say, has lost parents on this night and will become an orphan. So he will just be one of them who lost his parents." Sarutobi nodded as he puffed on his pipe, releasing a long smoke. "Well, she asked you to do this. I see you're sticking with what you told her, so I won't object. I will tell the council that the Ninetales has been sealed once again. After all, they know that it can't just be destroyed. For the population, they will think, and they will know that Ninetales has been destroyed. They will believe that," said Sarutobi. "But I won't tell the council. For his identity safety, I won't tell them who he is." "Thank you," said Jiraiya. Sarutobi nodded. "I just hope you know what you're picking up. This will be difficult. I know. But it's time I take up something difficult on my hands." As Jiraiya looked down, a part of him felt like he failed them, not being in the village when the Ninetales was attacking. He felt like if he was here, he could have done something. Something else could have been done to stop all of this. He felt like he could have been a big help in doing something, but he was not here. And for that, he would do his best to raise this boy and protect him from any harm that might come his way. After all, Jiraiya knew that the life of a Jinchuriki was never easy. So he wasn't going to make hardship fall on this boy, no matter what. Time skip. The god of death was everywhere. After all, he was one of the top players in the universe. He foresaw death. He oversaw death and life. So, it was easy for him to find out what happened that day. It was even more confusing for him that the boy was still alive. His time was far different from human time. But if he could count it, it has probably been 4 years since that in the human time. Since the event, and the boy was still living, and that was quite surprising. That strange energy came from a celestial being. The eruption of that tail beast's power, with his touch, had opened a breach in the universe. There was many other universes besides this one, and he could foresee all of them. And that boy had just absorbed powers that shouldn't even be in this reality. But as someone who watch over things and don't directly interfere unless it came to the point where he had to, the Shinigami wouldn't do anything about it. But this boy, life was just turned upside down. One so young will go through so much to find out what exactly he is. The struggle would be difficult and dangerous along the way. Because if he don't learn how to control his power, and if it overtook him, if this power drive him to the peak of insanity, where he chose to destroy everything, the Shinigami will have to stop him. After all, this was kind of his fault. Although the event was still a surprise to him. He never thought that something like this could happen. But now that boy had cosmic power that shouldn't even belong in this universe. But he will just watch and see how this all would play out. Meanwhile, it has been 4 years since the night of the attack, and Sir Toby could not keep to his word, because they weren't the only ones there. As Danzo had found out that the Ninetale was sealed within the child. A child that he didn't have any origin of though. How he suspected that, it was truly a mystery, because he didn't know who the child parent was. But Sir Toby and Jiraiya came back to the office with their envoys, along with the boy. Danzo was smart enough to put 2 and 2 together. But Sir Toby placed a law on the council members, not the civilians, as he had kicked them out of the meeting. They were told that the Ninetales was destroyed, and they had nothing to worry about. Sir Toby had told them about Jiraiya taking the boy from the village once he's old enough to walk and talk, so he can be personally trained by Jiraiya to control the power of the beast within. So that way, they have nothing to fear. And he placed a law on them that if any of them should talk, clan head or not, they would be executed. The man was serious when he placed that law. If any of them went out of their way to speak a single word, he will find them. As for once he showed them who is the Hokage in charge here, there was only 2 other people that were allowed to take part in that meeting. That wasn't a member of the council. Well, 3 if you count Danzo. That was Homura and Koharu. And he focused his intentions on them especially. If they breathe a word of this, they will be executed without a second thought. That made them keep their mouth shut. So for the past 4 years, Naruto life has been rather normal. The matriarchs didn't know. No one knew that the boy possessed the most powerful demon. Well, not just that, powers that were just brimming below the surface. At the moment Sir Toby made his way, Naruto was different from most child. Well, not like he didn't play hard that, but he was aware. Too aware. And that frightened Sir Toby sometime. And this is one of the reasons. As Naruto was currently standing with the matriarch of the orphanage, as the both of them were talking, she was smiling at the boy. He was one of the nicest boy here. Sweet. And kind. Naruto then paused. "Oh hey there, Gigi," he said. The woman looked at him confused. It was then that Sir Toby came inside. "Naruto, how did you..." I sensed him coming," said Naruto. The woman looked down at him. "But how?" He went into a thinking pose. He just looked so cute when he did that. It made her forgot all about her question as she reached down and pinched his cheek. "Hey, come on," said Naruto. "You're just so cute, Naruto," she said. I just want to eat you up. She smiled sadly. Naruto had a lot of friends here, but all child wish to be adopted. She heard that his parents died in the attack. But Sarutobi had spoken to every parents that tried to adopt Naruto, and they were told that they could not. Many people tried. At least 10 couples wanted to adopt the boy. He even lost one of his good friends because the man and woman wanted to adopt the girl and Naruto as well, but Naruto wasn't allowed to go. To that day, the matriarch was confused because she knew that most of those homes would be perfect for him, but the Hokage told her that he had a special plan for Naruto. She wouldn't go against her Hokage wishes, so she never said anything about it. Mind if I had a word with Naruto? She nodded as she walked away, giving Naruto a smile. So what's up, JJ? Said Naruto. Well, you have been getting rather big lately. Huh? Naruto looked down. I look the same way. You really think so? Yeah, said Sarutobi. You've even gotten taller so quickly. Huh, you don't even look like a 4-year-old kid. Not to mention you're quite perceptive and smart for your age. I guess I am smarter than all the children here. But why? I thought you said only those lazy guys are strong. Naruto, I didn't say lazy, said Sarutobi. I just said unmotivated. Nah, I remember you saying lazy. As Sarutobi looked at him, he just had to laugh. That made Naruto laugh as well. Did another couple come to adopt me? Naruto asked. I'm afraid not. As Naruto looked down sadly, as he wanted parents. He didn't know why people couldn't adopt him because some of them tried and he got along with them well, only to hear that they didn't want to adopt him. Sarutobi sighed sadly, as he knew this must be hurting the boy. But you don't have to worry about that, because you're gonna be leaving the village for a while. What? Why? Your godfather is gonna be taking you. My godfather? What's that mean? Well, it was someone that your parents gave permission to take care of you if anything happened to them. But, so, he knew my parents? Yes, he did. Naruto knew that his parents had died, as the old man told him. So, are you gonna tell me their name today? I'm afraid not. But why? If he's my godfather, then why can't I know their name, Naruto asked. Don't worry, Naruto-kun. He's gonna be the one to tell you. Really? When? When he feels like you're ready. But I'm ready now, said Naruto. Just be calm, Naruto-kun. You will know everything soon enough. As Hiruzen and Jiraiya spoke about this, Jiraiya seemed no reason to not tell the boy who his parents were. After all, he was going to betrain Naruto and make him as strong as possible. As Minato had left behind a note, and he wanted them to tell Naruto once he became Chunin, or strong enough to protect himself. And Jiraiya believed that he can get the boy up to Chunin level. Well, he's gonna come back to me in order to take the test, to graduate the academy, to become a true Konoha ninja. So where is he, Naruto said, snapping Sarutobi from his thoughts. He's coming soon, but today. So I want you to go and get your things packed, and say goodbye to your friends. But I'm gonna miss them, said Naruto. I know you are, said Sarutobi, as he placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder after stooping down. But this is just another step in your long life. And there will be many different changes. And it's not like you're not gonna see them again. You will be back in a couple of years. Alright, said Naruto. I'll go and say goodbye, okay? And with that, he ran off, before Sarutobi would say anything. Sarutobi didn't know how one boy was so fast. This must be some genetics, because of Minato's speed and agility or something like that. Naruto was so fast for his age, and not to mention strong. It was shocking the day that he found out how strong Naruto was. Flashback. As Sarutobi made his way towards the orphanage, there he saw a 3-year-old Naruto running around the orphanage. But that was not the thing that shocked him. Naruto, as Naruto came to a stop. Oh hey there, JJ, said Naruto as he waved, his tiny legs running over to the old man. Naruto placed down the giant box that he had in his hand. Sarutobi blinked as he reached in the box and pulled out one of the books. The matriarch then came over. Hello there, Hokage-sama. What is going on here? Asked Sarutobi, thinking that they were punishing the boy or something like that, but do it in such a cruel way. He was just 3 years old. No, Hokage-sama, the man said. He insisted to do this. I told him, but he wouldn't take no for answer. He said that you want to get stronger and faster. Sarutobi looked down. But how? As Sarutobi reached and picked up the box. It wasn't that heavy, but Naruto was 3. It was a box full of textbooks. Thick, reading textbooks. And for Naruto to be lugging that box around while running, that was just really impossible. As Naruto flexed his muscles, I'm gonna get big and strong. To protect my friends, just like what you told me. I know I did, but I didn't mean something like this, said Sarutobi. Huh? But you don't have to worry, said Naruto. I mean, as he stooped back down and picked up the box. It's not that heavy. As he started to run off again. Sarutobi's size, he watched Naruto's small legs took him away. This boy was really something. End of flashback. And from there, Naruto did more amazing things. The kid was just different and powerful for his age. As Sarutobi knew that Naruto would be able to protect himself from any external threat once Jiraiya was done with his training. After all, he was already becoming so much more powerful. As that made Sarutobi smile, as he couldn't wait to see the boy grow up. He just hoped Jiraiya kept to his promise. Well, he didn't actually promise and didn't turn the kid into a pervert. They had too much pervert already in Konoha. But he still was worried about what happened a few weeks ago with Naruto. Something that still surprised him to this day. After all, there were sensory ninjas in Konoha, but this was different. It seems that Naruto had some awareness that he didn't know of. Flashback. A few of the older kids from the orphanage had made their way towards the top of the roof to prank some of the other kids. They had balloons filled with water to throw them down on the kids. As Sarutobi was currently coming back from a ramen stand, trip with Naruto. As Naruto's stomach was full as he smiled, as he made his way, he then saw his friend, the one that got adopted. Well, she wasn't adopted yet. Hello there, Panda Bear, he said. The reason why he called her that was because of the two buns in her hair that made her look like a panda bear. Oh hi Whisker, she said to him, as she giggled a bit, as Naruto giggled back. As Sarutobi looked down at him to see him smiling. So Naruto-kun, is that your girlfriend, he said, trying to make the kid blush in embarrassment, but Naruto looked up. Yeah, he said. The girl on the other hand blushed. It seems that Naruto didn't understand what that meant. Naruto, do you know what a girlfriend means? Yeah, she's my friend, and she's a girl, so she's my girlfriend. Aren't you, Panda? That isn't what that means, Naruto-kun, she said. It means, boyfriend and girlfriend. Well yeah, I'm your boyfriend, said Naruto. I mean, don't you think of me as your friend? As the girl became bright red, she started to run off, too embarrassed to say anything else. But one of the boys on the roof ended up knocking the box over that was filled with water balloons. It made the box quite heavy as it fell straight down towards the girl. As Naruto snapped his head around, surprising Sarutobi, as Naruto looked up, before rushing off. Sarutobi didn't even get to ponder, as all the other kids turned. Panda, said Naruto as he tackled her out of the way, as the box slammed down, bursting water balloons. Some of them bursting outside. Sarutobi rushed over. Are the both of you okay? Yeah, said the girl as she picked up herself. I'm fine. Thank you, Naruto-kun, for saving me. Oh, it's no problem, said Naruto as he helped her up. Now you can think of me as your boyfriend again. That is not what it means, Naruto-kun. As Sarutobi glanced at Naruto, he moved off and turned. Sarutobi didn't even know that inkling that was going to happen, but Naruto seemed to be fully aware. End of flashback. As Naruto came back downstairs, he had a pout on his face. What's wrong, Naruto-kun? Didn't you say goodbye? Yeah, said Naruto. As Sarutobi then saw his face, there was red lipsticks all over Naruto's face, on his cheek and in his forehead. The girls all ambushed me and they all kissed me up and down. And they were crying, it made me very sad. As Sarutobi saw all the people at the orphanage there, as they just loved little boy so much. After all, he was different from the other kids. Everything that they were doing, he always wished to supervise and help them. And he was quite strong as well. Things that they couldn't lift, that they need ninja help for, Naruto was able to do it. Things that they couldn't climb, despite they didn't want him going up to dangerous place, he always offered to do it. As Naruto sighed, I don't even know where Panda is. She got adopted, said Naruto. Don't be sad, Naruto. I'm sure that he will see her one day again, said Sarutobi. I hope you're right, JJ, said Naruto. Come on then. And with that, the both of them made their way. Naruto took one last look at the orphanage as he smiled, as all the kids came out that were there, all the older one as well, along with the matriarch and the other attendants. Goodbye, Naruto, they all wave. Goodbye, you guys, he waved back. Once I'm back in the village, I'll come back to visit all of you guys. And once I'm a powerful ninja that has lots of money, I'm gonna come back and create a bigger orphanage for you guys, okay? If you're still here, I'm gonna buy giant TVs, games, and everything for you guys to enjoy. You can count on that, okay? As the kid started to cheer, Sir Toby looked down. The boy had such a kind heart. Only if he knew that he had the money right now to do all of that. Well, Jiraiya will handle that. Come on, Naruto-kun, he said. And with that, the both of them made their way out of the orphanage. As Naruto walked through the streets of the village, people looked towards him and smiled because he had such a cheery attitude, a big smile plastered over his face. He never knew the hardship of growing up to be a Jinchuriki after all. No one knew. And Naruto never accessed that power before. But there was something that he was keeping from the old man. He didn't want the old man to think that he was weird, so he never told him about it. The voices. So he decided to just keep it to himself for now. After all, only weird people hear voices. That was what his friend Kenny told him. That was an orphanage. And that people hated weird people, so he didn't tell anyone about it. They made their way towards Hokage Tower, and Naruto sat down in a chair. You'll be here shortly, Naruto. As Naruto nodded, after a few minutes, as Naruto turned his head towards the window, after a few seconds, Jiraiya jumped on the window ledge. Sir Toby looked at Naruto once again. There was that awareness, something of a sensory ability. He will have to tell Jiraiya to work on that as well, to see exactly what Naruto was, getting to. Able to sense and predict where people was going to be. That was quite a useful ability. Little did he know Naruto can do so much more. Jiraiya smiled. He hasn't seen the kid in 3 years. He came back when the kid was just 1, and he saw that he was being treated well. But he hasn't seen him for 3 years now. Naruto-kun, is that you? He said. As Naruto eyed the man up and down. I remember you, said Naruto. Jiraiya looked at him strangely. How? You came by, and you... Naruto went into his bag. As the Hokage came by the orphanage, and always gave him spare money to buy what he wanted. As he pulled out a frog wallet, you gave me this. Jiraiya blinked in confusion. But how would you remember something like that? You were just 1 year old. But I remember. And you tickled my nose. It was quite ticklish, said Naruto. Jiraiya blinked as he looked towards Sir Toby. Sir Toby gave him a shrug. Seems your memory is quite good. Do you remember anything else? Yeah, a lot, said Naruto, as he started to regale them with memories of the orphanage, but they saw that he wasn't talking about anything special. Until Naruto paused as he looked rather nervous. What's wrong? Said Jiraiya. Well, I always had this bad dream. I don't know if it's a dream or a memory like what you say, but there was this thing. What thing? Well, it had this giant claw that was coming to hurt me, and then I was saved by this red and gold blur. That was all I remember of that though. Jiraiya looked towards Sir Toby. Wait, could he be? What else do you remember from that thing, Naruto? Asked Sir Toby. Well, it had some fluffy 9 wiggling poles that were moving around. Yeah, I remember, it was 9 of them. As the both of them looked at him like he was crazy. Did I do something wrong? He asked. No, it's okay, Naruto-kun. Sir Toby pressed the intercom on his desk. As someone came to the office, a woman, short black hair. Yes, Hokage-sama? Could you stay Naruto-kun for a while? There's something I need to talk to Jiraiya about in private. Sure, Hokage-sama. His assistant said. Hey, Naruto-kun, she said. I got some new sweets. Really? As she gestured for him to come along, as Naruto made his way. Sensei, what the hell is going on? Jiraiya, to be honest, I have no idea. You're gonna have your, time set out for teaching Naruto. Because Naruto is different. What do you mean different? Well, I can't really tell you. The most of the time he do things, there's this purple energy that I see just leaking from his body. I test over the seal myself and look it over, but the seal is perfectly fine. And this energy, it just disappear and come sometimes. Naruto said that he felt strange sometimes when he focused. I don't know what exactly it is. I'm just giving you that heads up. But is the kid telling the truth? Can he really remember something that long? I mean, he was just a baby. That should be impossible. Well, this world has experienced stranger things. Well, you mean a Baby. A newborn babe to remember something from his birth. Yeah, said Sarutobi. And what exactly is that? Jiraiya, how much things have you seen now happening? You tell me that Naruto's scene is, well, self in the past is something strange to you? That will blow your mind? I suppose you're right. Well, I'll find out what this is. Maybe it could be a big advantage in the future for him. And don't worry, I won't tell him until he's ready. But I will tell him before we come back. So you better get everything ready for him. After all, he's gonna want to see things. I already know that. And everything has been kept safely for him to use as he please. I hope you make him mature enough for him to understand the use of money. And about life as well. And not to mention, we don't need another pervert in Konoha. And what makes you say that? Jiraiya, I'm talking to you. Am I not correct? Yeah, I suppose you're right, said Jiraiya. But don't worry, I'm gonna turn the kid into a full-fledged citizen of society, not into a pervert. As Naruto was called back into the office, with a receptionist letting him aside before closing the door. Alright, Naruto-kun. So this is your godfather, Jiraiya. He'll be taking you. My godfather, huh? Said Naruto as he looked Jiraiya over. Are you strong, Naruto asked. Well, of course. The old man wouldn't tell you this directly, but I'm even stronger than him. Sarutobi scoffed. Nah, you're not, said Naruto. And what makes you say that? No reason, said Naruto. No, you're hiding something. Come on, tell me, said Jiraiya. You'll think I'm weird, said Naruto. Weird? Why would I think you're weird? Naruto sighed. Alright, fine. But don't tell anyone else, okay? I'm just telling you guys. Yeah, sure, said Sarutobi. You feel weaker. What? Said Jiraiya. Well, when I look at you, I can tell that you're weaker than Gigi here. But you have something else that you're not using. I don't know what it is, but you are not using it at the moment. As the both of them look at him. See? I told you guys. It will make me seem weird. No, we don't think that you're weird, Naruto-kun. But explain, said Sarutobi. Well, it started happening about a year ago. I can tell when people are stronger and weaker. Like that one over there, said Naruto as he pointed towards the shadow in the wall. He's the strongest out of the other ones. Sarutobi narrowed his eyes. Naruto was pointing at the Anbu that was standing there. Even the Anbu was shocked as his eyes narrowed a bit under his mask. As Jiraiya's eyes widened, the kid noticed him. He's the strongest. And that one right there. That person the weakest. Not as strong as the others, but strong as well. And what does it say when you look at your own self? Asked Jiraiya, curious. Nothing. What do you mean, said Jiraiya. Well, there's just nothing there. It seems that my ability don't work on myself. I don't know what it is, but it started happening to me 2 years ago. It along with the voices. Wait, what voices? Said Sarutobi became a bit alarmed, thinking that the fox was talking to Naruto. Well, I didn't tell you, but you remember that day when I saved my friend? You mean the girl with the buns in her hair? Yeah. Well, I was talking to you and then I heard this voice telling me to turn around. And when I did, I saw the box falling on her. That is how I found out. And it started happening more and more. I don't know what it is, but my friend Kenny told me that only weird people hear voice in their head. And this voice, did it ever tell you to do something that you don't want to do? Oh no, it's not really a normal voice though. It's like big and booming. It's like a single command. It told me to do certain things, like to take the scissors away from little Jamie. There was a scissors that went under the fridge, and little Jamie crawled under there, and he retrieved it. And the voice told me to save him, and I saw him with scissors, so I took it away. Sarutobi and Jiraiya was at a loss for what the hell was Naruto talking about, but they seemed interested. Well, we will find out what exactly that is, said Jiraiya. But from today on, we're gonna be hitting the road, okay? As Naruto nodded. A few minutes later, as they were at the gates, as Naruto smiled at old man. Alright, Gigi, see you in 8 years, he said. When I come back, I'm gonna be big and stronger, and protect all my precious people like you told me, and make sure to keep the will of fire burning strong inside of me. As Sarutobi smiled at him, "You do that," he said. "Jiraiya, look out and take care of the boy, okay?" "Come on, of course I will. Do you even need to ask?" said Jiraiya. As he gave the Hokage a salute. "See ya," he said. As Naruto started to walk off with Jiraiya, waving goodbye to Sarutobi, who waved goodbye at the boy as well. Sarutobi still saw so many mysteries surrounding Naruto that he didn't even know where to start. This must be some late in the bloodline or something like that. Well, for now he won't know. Probably when Jiraiya came back, Jiraiya have something for him. As he just wished the two of them safe journeys and make sure that they're okay out there on the road. And that Jiraiya didn't turn the boy into a pervert, because he feared that Kushina would literally come back from the grave and kill the both of them. Time skip. 3 months later. Aw, he's so cute. A beautiful, red-headed woman said, as she ran her hand through Naruto's hair and tickled his cheek, making the boy laugh. "But he doesn't have your hair. He doesn't even look like you much." "Well, he take most of the appearance of his mother," said Jiraiya with a smirk on his face. "And where's your mother?" asked the woman as she looked down. Well, she passed away a long time ago," said Naruto as he put on a sad look on his face. "And my father here has been taking care of me ever since. He dropped everything just to make sure I'm okay. He's doing his best, even though it's quite hard sometimes. But he always makes sure I'm fully fed, even if he go hungry one night. That's my father for you. I love him," said Naruto as he turned towards Jiraiya with a smile. "I love you too," said Jiraiya as he came over and hugged Naruto. The woman cried, tears of happiness. She looked towards Jiraiya. "A special father like you deserve something special," she said. She then reached into her bag as she pulled out something as she slipped it to Jiraiya. As she then went to his ear and whispered, "What about when he's asleep tonight? You come and pay me a visit. After all, we are at the same hotel." Jiraiya simply smirked. "Will do." The woman lowered herself. "I'll see you soon, okay, Naruto-kun?" As she tickled his cheek once again. "Don't be sad. I hope things get better for you and your father, okay?" "I hope so too," said Naruto. And with that, the woman headed off. As Naruto's face turned to a frown. "Is that the last one?" he said. "Come on, kid, we just barely started," said Jiraiya. "What do you even do with these ladies?" Naruto asked. "I'll tell you that in about... Wait, how old are you again?" "I'm 4, said Naruto. 6 years. Yeah, that's probably the right time to give you the talk." "What talk?" said Naruto. "I'll tell you that in about 6 years. Naruto sighed. "I'm hungry." "Wait, didn't you just eat?" "But I'm hungry again," said Naruto. "Okay, fine. What do you want?" said Jiraiya. "Barbecue." "But the barbecue place is all over to the other town." "But I want barbecue," said Naruto. Jiraiya sighed. "Pick something else. We're not going back to the other town. It's too far." Naruto mumbled something to himself. "What was that?" "I said you're using me to get all these ladies for whatever you do, but you won't give me barbecue. Next time, I won't tell them these stupid stories that you told me to make up." "But kid, you are the holy grail. A cute kid like you. No one can possibly say no to you." Naruto mumbled something. "Alright, what about you stay here," said Jiraiya. As the both of them were in the hotel lobby. "I'll go and get something for you to eat. Just give me 5 minutes, okay?" As they knew he had to keep Naruto happy, to keep on making Naruto meet the ladies, well, think that he's a brilliant father. As it wasn't bad to use him in this way, right? The kid was getting training and food out of it, so what's the problem? Yeah, there was no harm. With that, Jiraiya headed off, leaving Naruto right there. The kid was smart, and Jiraiya knew that he wouldn't do anything stupid, so he left him for a while. It only took 5 minutes for him to head out of the hotel. As he stopped right at the door before he leave, might as well as he greeted a clone to leave it behind, as the clone stood there watching Naruto, who turned his back. Naruto sighed as he really wanted barbecue. As he looked towards one of the sofa that was there, one of the cushion, as he went and sat down on it. He was using him for his stupid games and he didn't want to give him barbecue. Damn it, he want barbecue, he thought to himself. He didn't know why he liked it so much, but it was just so heavenly. And that was the only thing he could think about right now. That was what he wanted to eat. Matter. Transmutation, he heard in his head. What? Matter. Transmutation. As Naruto started picturing the barbecue in his head, he didn't know why he got this strange feeling, or what the voice was telling him. What was matter? Transmute? Transmutation. As he then got an image in his head of the sofa in front of him turned into barbecue. A smile came under his face as he reached out his hand. The strange purple energy erupted on his hand in a soft glow. He placed on one of the sofa as the thing started to twist. Particles break apart as it bent and twisted on a molecular structure. Before, steam rose up. When the steam cleared away, a plate of barbecue was there. Naruto smiled as he picked up one of them and bit down. Whoa. As he started to eat the barbecue, having no idea how he just did that. Seeing that his back was turned and the purple light wasn't all that, well, glowing, and the steam had stopped before it rise up in the air, Jiraiya had no idea. Well, the clone had no idea. A moment later, the real Jiraiya came back with some snacks, as he saw Naruto's face, covered in the barbecue grease. Naruto, where did you get that? He asked. Did you take it from somewhere? He asked, looking around. No, I make it. Jiraiya gave him a dumb look. Look, kid. If we're gonna be, well, living together, I don't expect you to lie to me. Lie to you? I don't lie, said Naruto. But you're lying about where did you get that? I told you I made it. And exactly how did you make something like that? As Naruto gave him a small glare. Look, you being angry at me and glaring isn't going to help your case. Fine, said Naruto. It told me to say matter transmutation, or that is what it meant. Naruto placed his hand down in the sofa again. As he closed his eyes and started to focus. As the same purple glow appeared, as he watched the cushion break. Jiraiya was shocked and stunned to what he saw, when suddenly it came back together and steam rose up. Here, said Naruto. You're being mean to me and I'm still giving you food. You should at least appreciate that. Jiraiya took the plate and everything. The kid created a plate with barbecue on it. Out of the cushion? Jiraiya looked at Naruto shocked. Jiraiya picked up one and had to test it. As Jiraiya felt the flavor burst on his tongue. But how? Not talking to you, said Naruto. Look, I'm sorry for saying that you lied, but it's just... How did you do it? Well, the voice told me that I could do it. The voice again, huh? Naruto has told me that he didn't know exactly what the voice was. But he just talked to him sometime. When he, well, needed something or wanted help. Jiraiya was shocked. This seems unreal. Unbelievable. But if he didn't see it with his own eyes, he wouldn't believe it, but he saw it with his own eyes. But how was that even possible? As Naruto belched, snapping from his thoughts, oh I know, said Naruto has placed hand on one of the cushion again. As he did once again. This time, a glass of lemonade appeared, as Naruto smiled. But suddenly he stepped back. As he shook his head, are you okay, said Jiraiya. Yeah, I'm just feeling a bit... As he started to move around tipsy, before he fell, Jiraiya grabbed onto Naruto's lemonade spill over. Naruto! Naruto, he said! Time skip. What happened? Said Naruto as he woke up in the bed. Jiraiya. Head was down to the side of Naruto's bed. Jiraiya-san, said Naruto. As he poked Jiraiya on top of the forehead, Jiraiya jumped up and looked around. Naruto, you're okay. As Jiraiya smiled. What happened? Well, you passed out, said Jiraiya. And I got a doctor to look up on you, but they say that you were fine. But you just weren't waking up. Took you a while. I'm gonna need you not to do that again, what you did. What are you talking about? That thing that you used to make the barbecue. Oh, said Naruto. Low energy. Low energy, said Naruto. Huh? The voice said it. It said low energy. Wait, does it mean you have low energy because you use that strange ability? I think so. But what's energy, said Naruto. Jiraiya sighed. How do you don't know what energy is? And you know what matter transmutation was? What's that? So, you didn't know what the word was, but you did it. Well, yeah. Because it showed me an image in my head of the barbecue being there, so I did it. Jiraiya sighed. Well, as long as you're okay. But you're here, said Naruto. Of course I am. But that woman. You didn't go visit her? You're more important than anyone else, said Jiraiya. I had to make sure that you're okay. Although I missed out a hot night with that wonderful babe. Wonderful babe? I'll tell you about that when you're a bit older. Alright, fine, said Naruto. So what now? Well, we're moving on to the next town. I believe it's time that we fully begin your training and find out what the hell you can do. Naruto smiled. What kind of training? You'll see, said Jiraiya. Time skip. Naruto was in the office. It has been 5 months since he left the village, as he was currently reading over the reports. He wondered if Jiraiya was messing with him or something, because this made no sense. Naruto made a sofa into food that literally made no sense at all, as Naruto didn't know what was going on. They must be messing with him just to see his reaction, as he could imagine them laughing, thinking at his reaction like this was real. Those two, he says. He shook his head as he placed away the note, thinking that this was completely false, having no idea that Naruto has just started his journey into the impossible world of cosmic energy. But guys, if you end up right here, if you want the next part of this, do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also guys, stay in tune for the result of what is coming your way, and I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. And also remember to go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was an Emotionless Ghost over on Anime King 2. Link will be down in the description for you guys to enjoy. And remember, if you enjoyed seeing part 2 of it, go ahead and comment down below and tell me if you want to see part 2, and I'll be posting it as soon as possible for you guys. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.